Welcome back to another riveting edition of Ask Jeff, the place where everyone goes for answers. If you're looking for sources of truth, this is the place you go because we answer just about anything. Now, all that being said, I got to tell you, as of late, some of the questions that have been sent in have kind of been designed, I think, to stump me. It's a challenge almost. I'm going to send this question to Jeff. Is he going to answer it? Will he answer it on the program? And if he does, what will the answer be? I'm all about enlightenment. I'm all about you knowing more than you knew the day before. I'm all about knowledge too. I like knowing stuff. And so as a result, we answer questions. For example, this question comes to us. Dear Jeff, why doesn't honey ever spoil? To be real honest with you, I never really thought about it until this question came in. And then I started thinking about it. I've never heard of honey spoiling. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of honey that you get in a little Kentucky Fried Chicken, little squeeze packets that is honey sauce. I'm talking about real, honest to goodness bee honey. Bee honey. Does it ever spoil? And that was the question that we once again sent out to our world-renowned, world-famous research team here at 434. Honey actually lasts thousands of years because it begins its life on a flower, which lasts only a few days. That flower secretes a sugary fluid called nectar. You've heard this before, haven't you? And bees collect the nectar on their bodies and in their stomachs and take it back to the hive to make into honey. First, they flap their wings over and over until most of the water in the nectar has evaporated. Then, through the use of an enzyme in the bee's stomachs called glucose oxidase, the nectar is broken down into gluconic acid and hydrogen peroxide, the same stuff that you put in a cut so it doesn't get infected. Who knew? Part of honey. Then, the resulting honey is acidic and due to its low water content, very thick. Bacteria, the leading cause of food spoilage, needs moisture to thrive, and they won't find it in honey. And so once that honey is sealed, it's good to go. It won't spoil. If the seal is broken somehow on that honey and water does get in, moisture gets in, it will eventually spoil, but it will take longer than most foods. But if it's properly sealed in a jar, according to science, it doesn't matter if the jar was pried out of the hands of a 5,000-year-old mummy. The honey will taste just as fresh if you open it out of the mummy's hands as the day that the bees made it, because honey doesn't spoil as long as you keep it away from moisture. How about that? See, that was a question just about honey and why doesn't it spoil. But what you got instead was a whole part of how honey's made. You got to hear about the bee and the flower and the nectar and the flapping of the wings and the enzymes and the acid and all of that kind of stuff. A regular beehive full of knowledge, wasn't it? And now you know. And so, next time you eat honey, it ought to give you a great appreciation for God, the way that He created the flowers, where the whole process started, the bees that collect all of that nectar. And in the process that these bees do in this little busy hive that they live in to create the honey that is so, so sweet. And so, what a better finish. It's like a sweet end to that question. Keep those cards and letters coming. Send them to Ask Jeff, and we'll do our best to answer them for you. Until next time.